Et on est de retour pour la suite de nos aventures sur MGS. Bon, il faut savoir que hier, après avoir enregistré la dernière partie, j'ai continué en off et j'ai fait la quête annexe qui permettait de récupérer Quiet. Voilà, vous ne l'avez pas vu, mais j'ai réussi. Ça m'a pris du temps parce que j'arrivais pas à la... Comme quand je l'avais fait en vidéo. Au bout d'un moment, elle se manifeste plus, donc c'était un peu galère. Et au final, j'ai réussi. J'ai attendu, j'ai spam les jumelles. Et au bout d'un moment, elle m'a tiré dessus et elle a réapparu. Donc, je l'ai récupérée et il y a eu une cutscene où on s'est fait attaquer. Elle nous a défendu dans l'hélico. Et suite à ça, elle a été emprisonnée, voilà, puisque Miller n'était pas chaud pour qu'on la garde. Elle a été emprisonnée. Mais Ocelot, lui, était chaud pour qu'on la garde. Et de toute façon, c'est notre big boss, donc c'est nous qui décidons. Donc voilà, voilà. Par contre, on a énormément de cassettes à écouter. Donc on va faire ça. On va faire ça, on va faire ça. On va appeler l'hélico. Et du coup, la base, mine de rien, ça grandit. Ça fait trop bizarre. Par contre, ça me fait grave penser à MGS2. Dans mes souvenirs, ça me fait trop penser à MGS2. Mais bon, je vous parle de ça avec des souvenirs de... Je l'ai fait en quelle année, MGS2? Je sais rien. 2000... 2004 peut-être? Je sais rien. 2005? Je sais plus en quelle année je l'ai fait. J'étais au lycée, donc j'irai dans ces eaux-là. On va écouter les cassettes. On va écouter les cassettes. Et puis on va continuer. Mais là, ça commence à avoir de la gueule. Par contre, j'ai un peu du mal à me dire que quelqu'un peut construire une base comme ça, en plein milieu de l'océan, rester un peu sous les radars, tout en... je sais pas. Tout en se développant et tout.
Boss, our GMP is now in the red. If it stays this way, staff morale will fall and the men will start leaving Diamond Dogs. You've got to bring in more funds and keep costs down.
Ok. Bon. On mode base. On va commencer par les cassettes, les gars, comme ça sera fait. Donc je me tais et on écoute.
Just seeing him come back makes me real proud.
What breed is he? He's not a husky.
You're right. Siberian Husky is a cross between a Spitz-type dog and a wolf. I think Dee Dee might have some wolf blood in him too. He isn't just smart. He's also shown remarkable judgment. If he doesn't do what you want him to, he's just doing what he thinks is right in the situation. And he's steady under fire. Remember, he's no lapdog. But learn his strengths, and you'll understand each other soon enough. You'll make one hell of a team.
Ocelot. Why'd you take it upon yourself to train him?
Huh? Why?
Yeah. When's the last time you heard a wildcat raising a dog?
I have an eye for him. I knew at first glance he'd make the right partner for you.
Huh.
And I figured it was about time he got out into the world.
So you passed him off on me?
There, you see? I knew you liked him.
I don't know about that yet. I still think he's trying to figure me out, too.
I'll spend some more time with him. You'll see how helpful he can be.
What about you?
I prefer to work alone.
Ocelots don't hunt in packs.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I'm glad you like him. Dee Dee's really taken to you, too. And to going on your walks. Don't be shy about taking him with you in the future.
I'll think about it.
A sniper known as Quiet is lurking in the Afghan wilderness. This Quiet has performed a string of hits on Soviet officers. The attacks always occur in the same area, but sweeps of the area turn up no traces whatsoever. They've even posted guards, but they never spot a thing. And then before you know it, another body's lying on the ground. You ever heard of someone who operates like that? No matter how still and silent a person tries to be, they always create some kind of ripple. Be it breathing, a heartbeat, eating, excreting, body temperature, sweat. If this sniper can really vanish completely, that's just not human. I guess Quiet is the right name. But what is Quiet's objective? The local guerrillas wouldn't use this kind of tactic. I just can't see them hiring some superhuman mercenary. And the Soviet officers who've been killed, well, they were all opposed to or skeptical of the secret weapons development being conducted in the area. Sure, they were a problem for those supporting it, but the Soviets have nothing to gain by killing them. So we have an assassin with superhuman combat skills who isn't working for the guerrillas or the Soviets. Miller has a theory that this sniper is a hitman for Cypher. He thinks it's time we silence Quiet for good. But I'm against the lethal treatment. I say we bring the sniper back alive and break, because even if this Quiet doesn't say a word, just remember this, boss. If our hunch is right, if things seem a little too quiet out there somewhere, and if possible, this is one sniper I want back here breathing.
It wasn't just Cypher. Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on us. A private army, just a bunch of guys with guns, in possession of a nuke? Why wouldn't they be uncomfortable?
And that's why you made sure the inspection happened.
Well, I thought our best move was to prove to the UN through the IAEA that we had no nuke. Of course, I was against us having it in the first place, but that was Snake's decision.
The boss wasn't responsible.
Well, don't get me wrong, I still believed in Snake. I thought I was making the best decision for all of us, that's all. I figured we should get a third party to exonerate us before proof of the nuke did get out. And who better to do that than an organization with international authority?
So the truth is, you took it upon yourself to agree to an inspection arranged by the UN. Only the inspection was a ruse, and Cypher's strike force, XOF, showed up instead.
I had no idea that would happen.
Enough bullshit!
Oh, sure, like I could have known. You know, I was just trying to prove our innocence to the world. What's wrong with that?
We're not interested in the excuses you've thought up. The truth is objective.
Just see it from my point of view.
You led XOF to the control tower. They seized it, giving them complete control over the base. Moments later, they detonated C4 on the strut legs. Anyone who'd managed to survive was hunted down by the assault force and their choppers.
You can't believe I did that on purpose.
That was the end of Mother Base. But it wasn't the end for you.
How can you... Look, think about it. I lost something too. I built Zeke and it got buried underwater. I am a victim.
That raises the big questions. Why were you the only one spared? You got away without a scratch. Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
And how did you manage to build something that surpasses Zeke in every way? Because you did everything they told you. You're the only one who didn't lose a thing. That is the truth.
I was taken away against my will. Skullface forced me to do his research these past 9 years. He used me. I lost 9 years.
9 years. We all lost 9 years. It wasn't just you.
I suppose blaming me makes you feel better, does it? But who's gonna give me back all the time I lost?
You're not getting anything back.
You're not a victim here, Emmerich. You're the perpetrator.
I didn't know anything.
Nobody can back that up.
Yeah, all the evidence is at the bottom of the ocean.
You know the hardest man to break? The type who's fooling himself. That takes time. It's easier to live a convenient... Is that the piece you've chosen?
I'm not lying.
Of course. Just let me check one or two. On that day, you were in the control. Lucky you. That's how you got it. And you escaped on one of their choppers. Only you, right...
They had me blindfolded. I've never been so scared. The whole flight, I thought they... But thinking of you kept me going.
And?
There was a plane journey. When they finally took off the blindfold, I was in kind of a warehouse, on the floor. Afghanistan. It was that research. I couldn't believe they'd taken me, and soon enough...
Skullface.
He's the one who's really behind that mother base attack. He forced me into that research.
What kind of research?
He told me to build a bipedal, like Peace Walker. A system that could fire an ICBM-class nuclear... That's how the Sahelanthropus... Those AI weapons I'd made in Costa Rica were like toys by comparison. A whole world apart from reptilian four-legged crawling, and that... My design evolved. To the dawn of mankind, an upright, bipedal weapon system. Originally, Sahelanthropus was going to be a manned weapons platform. I designed a cockpit in its head, and I planned to fill it with water as a buffering agent.
Like how Paz modified Zeke for human control.
Don't compare me to some amateur. I designed it for human control from the beginning. The problem was miniaturizing the posture You remember the reptile pod?
The AI that controlled your unmanned weapons.
Attaching it externally makes it vulnerable. So this time I wanted it beneath the arm, meaning I had to make the AI... I got it down to less than a tenth the size without any loss in... But it was still too big for the cockpit. If I made the head bigger, its body would have to be bigger to support it. In the end, human piloting was taken off the... I tested a remote control system too, but there was the time lag, and I wasn't satisfied with its precision either. Plus, it would be useless if the enemy jammed it. So next, I went back to trying an AI. To do that, I had the AI pods recovered from... This was a hybrid AI, a combination of Peace Walker, the only AIs that had ever successfully
Really? You'd need some help to get that working. Expert help.
Did you work with someone?
I worked alone.
You did that yourself?
That's the thing. The AI didn't pan out in the end either. But I did finally get Sahelanthropus walking by folding over its upper body to lower its center of gravity. The first upright bipedal locomotive weapon system in the history of mankind. I guess, technically it falls into the anthropoid ape category.
I don't see the benefit of having it...
On terrain with significant differences, you need a body that also lets it attack from long range So, making it walk upright was the most important factor in giving it superior height capability. As the name suggests, that was the whole point of Sahelanthropus. But I was being pushed for results. Having the AI mounted externally would have been the fastest way to get it working. I just needed more data, but Skullface refused to He dismissed the idea of AI control and took...
But it was walking when it...
That's just it. I don't understand how Skullface got it to move upright. Without a pilot and walking at that speed, too. It's beyond anything I could have imagined. This is like the Wright brothers making it to the moon. I'm just...
So
I have no idea. I've never seen it anywhere else. Besides, it's nothing but even if it can walk, it's far from being... It wouldn't be useful in actual battle.
Emmerich will remain here at Mother Base for now, but not as a member of Diamond Dogs. I still don't trust him. That work...
Fine by me. He can't be allowed any contact with staff either.
Yeah. A lot of the guys would love some payback for 9 years ago. We still need him alive. But we have to restrict his movements. He can only go where we tell him. And of course, the interrogations will continue. He worked for that skull bastard for nearly a decade. He still has more to tell us.
How long are we gonna press him?
If our investigation shows he really had nothing to do with the attack, we'll reconsider his place here. But I don't expect that to happen. Remember that water tank-shaped object in Emmerich's lab in the Soviet base camp? The thing that started talking to you like that was a pod built for housing the AI. You remember, back in '74 in Costa Rica. It was in those machines you fought there. They were designated pupa, chrysalis, and each of them was fitted with an AI unit called a rep. Emmerich created it. It mainly handled the machine's posture control and autonomous behavior. But the basilisk, aka that one, was called the mammal pod, and it was created by... She tried to recreate the boss's personality through the mammal pod, but you pulled out its memory boards. That's when it transferred its own functions to its reptile pod. Just like a human brain compensating for damage by using the remaining... The result was a unique entity. A hybrid of the... It sank to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua with Peace Walker. But apparently they salvaged it. Don't let it deceive you, Snake. It may sound like the boss, but it has neither. Like Emmerich says, it's just a machine.
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over.
What do you mean?
Those of your men who survived traveled far. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason every one of them suffered their own talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words has been told on every battlefield they've... Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been... Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning. Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that.
I never said any of that.
The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than... To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big... Lessons you've taught the PFs they're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all is to one day go nuclear, just like you do.
Of all the stupid things you could do.
They'll never understand what you... Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same... Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big... And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero... HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between... It's not so much a turf war. More like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably still don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, contract for... These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes. That means constant act, and we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened... You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CF. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local, they were originally part of a paramilitary, and unlike their days shooting junk, the CFA now supplies. On top of that, they've been combat trained. All that adds up to a much, so don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The East Bank of the Muneni River. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all... There's a civil war going on in Angola, fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote region. With all the trouble elsewhere, neither government has control. They depend on militias and PF. Government forces, groups of all shapes and size. Conflict bring PFs expand, and more conflicts erupt and continue. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.
Ok. Bon.
Plant expansion complete. Development project has been added. Development project has been added.
Ok, on s'est remis en bénéf.
Staff assigned.
Je comprends pas toutes ces notifs en fait. Mais en fait, eux sont pas assignés ou je rêve? Ah si, c'est unité de combat, ok. Je comprends pas les notifs, mais... c'est pas grave en soi. Je comprends pas à quoi ça sert de vendre. Je sais pas.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project.
En fait, j'aimerais bien récupérer ma récompense. Mais est-ce que je suis connecté? Ouais, je suis connecté. En fait, il faut avoir le PS Plus. Putain, j'en peux plus d'être malade, les frères. Ah là là. Bon, je ne peux pas récupérer ça, du coup. Super.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Please select
Allez.
a mission.
Ouais, écoutez, le briefing, on l'a jamais fait.
This contract comes out of Angola. That's right, Central Africa, where Emmerich claimed they were working on a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. There's been a massive oil spill from Mafinda oil field. It's flowing into the river and contaminating the water supply. An environmental NGO has asked us to stop the spill by destroying the facility. Environmental activism isn't exactly our line of work, but it's not that simple either. The group operating the oil facility and causing the spill is the rebel group UNITA. And word has it that UNITA is getting supplied with US military weapons. That sounds to me like Cypher's pulling their strings. Boss, it's time to give Cypher a little surprise.
Alors... Franchement, on va garder ça parce qu'elle a un silencieux. Hein. Je sais pas si les autres ont un silencieux. Moi, je trouve que l'équipement de base est plutôt cool. Hein. Ah. Et voilà. C'est quelle tenue, la tenue dégueulasse? Bah, on va mettre la tenue d'infiltration. Hein. Attends, parce qu'il dit sera équipé par les gardes. Lorsque les paramètres de sécurité sont réglés sur non mortel. Je sais pas ce que ça veut dire. On va essayer comme ça, et puis on verra. On verra. Bon, on est à 26 minutes, on n'a rien fait. C'est pas mal, c'est une bien belle vidéo. On apprécie.
Angola's Mfinda oil field, upstream from the landing point. A spill has covered the whole area and crude. A pipeline that crosses the Muneni River failed. Now the shore's a mess.
Muneni qui a été...
Not to mention the villages downstream have no drinking water.
Qui a été traduit, j'allais dire, mais prononcé Muneni.
The oil runs to the pipeline from that facility. Taking it out should end the leak. The client this time is an environmental NGO. Destroy the facility. Stop that leak. This may seem like straight-up philanthropy, but there's another reason we agreed to it. The Mfinda oil field was outdated. Abandoned. Then the rebel group United moved in, taking it upon themselves to kickstart operations. United's been rapidly modernizing its arsenal. Rumor has it someone's been selling them U.S. military hardware. Intel's analysis suggests the broker's a front company, Cyphers. Keeping tabs on United can tell us who's pulling its strings.
C'est le site pétrolier. Je suis un peu loin du micro, je sais pas si on m'entend bien, mais... Il y a un monde vraiment où on m'entend pas. Je vais rebaisser un peu le son du jeu, je l'avais monté pour les cassettes. Et là on se retrouve en Afrique et ça ressemble déjà plus à la Russie d'MGS3, la fameuse jungle russe.
With no other options, soldiers have become dogs of war, sent to conflict zones as private forces, or PFs. Guys we fought alongside are dying all around the globe for no reason, no banner. But it's how they survive. The demand for PFs here in Africa is especially high. Cold War standoffs, resource exploitation, tribal clashes. What's big business for developed countries has only brought conflict here. That mess you're standing in is just the latest example. active Massa village. It's been turned into a supply hub for UNITA, meaning it'll be stocked with weapons and resources. Should be a thing or two that'll come in handy. Don't be shy. They deserve to be in better hands.
The map has been updated.
Alors, nous sommes ici, nous devons aller là-bas. Mais on a, voilà, il y a Massa. Ah, déjà, frère.
Caution, rain analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. The map has been updated.
Rester, m'a fait flipper. Bon, je compte sur le chien pour taguer les ennemis. Et me dire s'il y en a dans la zone. Donc, bonne chance. Ok. Oula.
Child soldiers. Children there are abducted and trained to be soldiers. They're only taught to fight. But one day they grow up and teach the next generation the same way. With a gun in his hands, a kid is as dangerous as any adult. Only they don't know a thing about right and wrong. Boss, do not hurt any child soldiers. If you do, the mission is over.
Aïe.
past the village. Continue heading for the oil facility. It's located up.
C'est vrai que c'est chiant de ne pas avoir le cheval. Mais le chien est tellement pratique.
Enemy presence detected. The
That's
map
African
has been
peach.
updated.
The shape of its petals gives it the nickname the pincushion. It's used in local traditional medicine as a pain reliever and tranquilizer.
Extraction arrived at the base.
South African natural resources. Saner drills oil wells wherever they can throughout that region. When the oil dries up, they abandon the facility. Then it's only a matter of time before the aging equipment starts leaking crude. That means United's takeover is the perfect cover for Saner. Now they can blame the spill on a bunch of oil thieves. However you look at it, Saner's far from squeaky clean.
Please supplies requested. Please supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Ok, ça m'a rendu mon silencieux.
Clouds approaching. Detected. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Boss, destroy the oil facility. There it is. The oil facility. To stop the leak, you need to shut down
Extraction
the oil
arrived
transfer
at
pump
Motherbase.
and destroy the oily water separator tank. The details are on your iDroid.
Alors cette mission, je me rappelle pas, c'est bizarre. Ça ne me parle pas du tout.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Super. Bon.
That's the
Map
oily water
analysis
separator tank.
complete.
One of the targets. Take it
Analysis
out.
complete. Analysis complete.
Je dois dégommer un des mecs là?
Analysis complete.
Non, je dois dégommer le réservoir.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Bon. On va essayer, hein. Par où on peut rentrer? On va essayer de longer par là, mais je suis même pas sûr que je puisse passer par là. Ça me paraît compliqué quand même. Ah, il y a un monde là. Il y a un monde où je me fais repérer, mais il y a un monde où... Attends, ça peut vraiment passer cette affaire? Ça peut pas s'accrocher? J'ai pas l'impression. Putain, je dois vraiment passer par la porte. Vraiment. Ah bah attends, il y a bien un moyen de rentrer sans passer par la porte quand même. Kojima. Il peut pas nous imposer... un bon chien. Ça, c'est un bon chien, ça. Attendez.
Stay okay. Ozzy, hey. What back
Zit bij de Zulu hier. Was het een moeilijke indringer? Wees opgereed uit je grondslag. Dat is CFP, begrijp. Moenie securiteit voor slachting. Uit.
Hey, fella. Wat gaan aan? Hey, you okay? Kijk mij weg!
CFP, dat is Delta 3. Bedreiging in gebied. Moet versterkt securiteit. Over. Dat is CFP, begrijp. Hou je al af. Uit.
Destroy that separator tank. You'll need to use explosives. Got any C4?
Scherp securiteit en weerswakker. Uit.
Alright, you planted the C4. Don't set it off until you're at a safe distance. Good. You're away from the tank. Once it goes up, the enemy will come running. Secure the area before you
You
detonate the
have
C4.
arrived at your destination.
Stop the oil transfer pump.
Marker placed.
The remaining target is the oil transfer pump. You need to shut it down.
Boss, come in. Boss?
The remaining target is the oil transfer pump. You need to shut it down.
GPS Détruire. Verkeerskorten. Negatief op Koersval. Oor. CFDF, begrijp. Alleen neer. Overwacht. In punt illegaal indrukkers. Uit. CFDF, begrijp. Moet securiteit voor slachting. Uit.
You have arrived at your destination. Marker removed.
The remaining target is the oil transfer pump. You need to shut it down. Transfer pump control room. The emergency stop button is probably inside it.
Chipje, stel maar hier. Pas gebeurt hier gewoon. Ik positie vastgesteld. Moet dus worden.
Transfer pump shut-off confirmed. Objectives complete. But the enemy has tightened security. Get out of there ASAP.
Please select a support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Caution, rain approaching.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Target acquired. In hot. B-Quad is in hot.
Looks like the road's been sealed off. See any way around? Boss, I just got a report from the intel team. An enemy unit is en route to the hills. Looks like they mean to hunt you down.
In hot.
You'll have to make it past them somehow.
This is B-Quad. Taking too many hits. I gotta pull out.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake? Snake!
Pas facile cette histoire.
Finish your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Please supplies requested. Please select a drop point. Supply drop. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete. Caution, rain approaching. Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is P-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand
Looks like
by.
the road's been sealed off.
Support
See any way
helicopter
around?
has arrived.
Zitten de Zulu hier. Was het een moeilijke handelingen? Wees opgereed als grondslag. Over. CFTF, begrijp. Bespiek die omgever. Uit.
Walker gears. What are they doing there?
Zitten de Zulu hier. Dat was een ontploffing. Schade over. CFTF, begrijp. Kan een vijandige aanval wees. Alieneren, wakker wees. Uit.
Boss, I just got a report from the intel team. An enemy unit is en route to the hills. Looks like they mean to hunt you down. You'll have to make it past them somehow.
Allez, putain, on va le faire. Ah, je suis bon. Ah, j'ai été bon. Ah, j'ai été bon. Avec le masque de poulet, mais j'ai été bon quand même. C'est pas grave en soi. En vrai, le masque de poulet, je sais même pas si... Ouais, il a sonné une fois, mais... Le mec, en me cherchant, il s'est fait exploser par l'explosion du walker. Là.
Exfiltrated once.
You made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
C'est pas grave en soi. Allez, on va pouvoir cut la VOD ici. On va attendre de voir ce qui se passe en rentrant.
Yes, mission complete. Boss?
En mode chicken, le mec. Alors.
We took another look into Sainer, the owner of the oil field. They were behind what happened. They hired the PF, not United. They restarted the facility all the while pretending they were the victims. One other thing. Sainer's Johannesburg head office is just a room in a multi-tenant building. Company's essentially non-existent. 3 years ago, that investment fund stepped in and started gutting it through a series of mergers and sell-offs. And get this, the fund itself no longer exists either. It's a shell corporation, meaning someone is just using Saner's name from the shadows. But what about those strange corpses? Just what the hell were they doing over there?
Hey! Snake! I've customized a walker gear just for you. It features a silent running system, great for infiltration missions, and you can also summon it to your location. I've taken the liberty of calling it the D-Walker. It's armed with a suppressed tranquilizer gun. If you want to add other weaponry or upgrade the chassis, give the order from your iDroid.
Boss, I've updated the mission list.
Updated.
We received a new job offer.
Mission list updated.
It doesn't seem connected to Cypher or Skullface at all.
Shortly.
But if it goes well, we may get an
Please
Afrikaans
select a
interpreter.
mission.
The details are on your iDroid.